Less than 5% website visitors share their contact info by filling a form or subscribing to your newsletter or something like that. But majority of it does not do anything. And in this video, we're going to discuss how can we harness that data and use it for our sales benefit. If you don't know me, my name is Ankit Singh, and I help B2B SaaS businesses build GTM systems that book demos. And this is one of the examples of doing something like that. There are tools in the market at the moment like RB2B, Wamrly, Vector, Clay, which de-anonymize the anonymous visitors that visit your website, right? So the rest, which is anonymous, all of that data, these tools are able to capture that. So what we're going to do is we're going to use these tools to capture the company level and person level data. And then we're going to send that data to a tool called Clay, which is what I do almost all the time, to enrich with other information, right? Intent, firmographics. Let's say you have an ICP condition that the team must have 5 sales employees. So checking all of that. And then we either send alerts in Slack or MS Teams if they are high intent, if they are high score, or we can, send it to the CRM, or we can run a nurture sequence if they are a high ticket client, right? So let's talk about the websites that we have. So we have something called Vector. We have something called Wamrly. We have something called RB2B. All of these, they have other features as well, but at a high level, they do the same job. So for example, if you're into RB2B, right, you'll be able to see this person level visitors, company level visitors. All you have to do is copy the script code in your website. Copy the script code on your website. And then when you come to integrations over here, you'll see a Slack. Do not do that. Like, that's not needed. I'll show you a better way. You can send data to Clay. If you do not have this Clay option, either in some other tool, you'll definitely have an option to send a webhook. So what you're going to do is you're going to just set this up and you'll have to paste the webhook URL. So you'll go to Clay, and then whenever you create a new table, you always have an option to create a table with webhooks. And then the URL that you can see, we just copy this and then we just paste it over here, right? And then this RB2B starts piping data to Clay. That is what it does. So, and it's the same, more or less the same with other tools. You have Vector, you have Wamrly. Clay is also not launching a native website visitor intent tracking. I'll make a video on that as well. So this is the first Clay table that I want to show you. So we have Vector that is getting us data from the website. So if you open this, right, you'll find a good amount of information. So you'll have the title of the person, the company of the person, your first name, last name, what is the page that they visited, and all of that. Now, this data is not always very accurate, right? Like all the tools, they act on a probability of success. They are not always accurate. So we verify the data later as well. So in this case, what are we doing, right? So we have this data, right? We're enriching the company. We are getting a lot of other LinkedIn data about the company, industry, and all of that. So we have a checkbox in Clay to check, did they, visit a medical viewed page or did they visit a security viewed page, right? So we have that thing in place. So we have the page viewed data. So we're just using that to create a formula over here. And then in this case, we want to run a nurture campaign. So based on the title of the prospect and did they visit this page, we will basically segregate them into a specific campaign, and then we will find emails for them because we don't already have emails and the emails are not always accurate. So we're going to use the waterfall method in Clay to find new emails, and then we'll send them a nurture sequence of emails. So that is what this flow is doing. So let me show something else, which is more of a direct application. In this case, we have data coming in from Wamrly, right? We have similar data. Now this is where it gets interesting, right? So what we're doing over here is, for example, in this case, we want to be able to know what is the number of field sales that we have. So we're using a Clay enrichment to get the number of field sales, right? And then we're also using ClayGent, which is an AI agent, to get the company's location. And then you're checking if they exist on CRM or not. And then you're finding open jobs. And then you're finding different pieces of data. We're scoring them. We're giving them a prioritization, right? Do they fall into A, B, C, D category? And we're giving them a reasoning, sales summary, right? So if you, for example, open this, have all the information, right? Like this is the company, this is the field sales count and all of that. And then we're sending that information to Slack. So now the message that you receive in Slack is a much enriched message with a lot of important data for your sales rep. This is how you use tools like RB2B or Wamrly, de-anonymize the website data, send them into Clay, enrich for your specific ICP, filter the leads that you don't want, grade the leads, score the leads, check, do they have any buying behavior? Send that notification in Slack, right? But in this way, you will now have a recurring machine, which every single day gets you 1 or 2 notifications if you have a good amount of traffic, and you can put them in the CRM, scout those leads and close them. So that's basically this entire system does, right?